180!
Tonci throw for the bullseye first.
Michael Mansell, though, he's been steadily making progress. And we've got Brendan Dolan, who's his mate in the crowd, just gave him a high five as he walked to stage. He'll look at Brendan and see, oh, Brendan's managed to be breaking into the top 32 and then the top 16 and making, you know, the final of major tournaments and going deep into big tournaments. That's what I want to do. That's what I can do. We'll certainly be believing that.
Yeah, Mickey come onto the scene about 3 years ago, just before the Grand Prix. We have 2 tour events at the City West there in Ireland, just outside Dublin. And I was talking to some Irish guys, and they said, keep an eye on this Mickey Mansell. And he made a semi-final that day. And since then, you know, he's been another one of these tough cookies. You know, you never play bad and beat them because they have that game. But the only thing that Mickey lacks at the moment is that extra pace. And sometimes that comes with getting used to playing against the pros all the time, and you know you need it. But apart from that, a good, solid player.
121.
Decent start from these two. Some throw Restovic has got there. Sort of lurch towards the board. Mansell, a lot more relaxed in his action. A left-hander.
Yeah, I'd say Mickey's got like an old style throw. You know, he stands more upright. He doesn't lean right forward, and you know, pitches the flight of the dart as a big long rainbow instead of more of a straight dart that a lot of the players throw with a bit more pace. It looks like Restovic is playing with an old Phil Taylor dart there. I think that looks like. But Mickey Mansell, what a perfect first dart that is. I said when the first dart's right, the other two are so easy to follow.
140.
Ton 40 from Mansell. Leaves him on a finish. And won the ball.
95. Michael require 161.
Well, he only needs to set this up, so he doesn't need to go for the bullseye. Just needs a big score. Just one needs a treble now. 85 will give him a dart at double top when he returns.
45.
Well, a chance here for Restovic. If he now can hit a big score, he knows Mickey Mansell might not get a dart at a double. But he needs a treble himself.
47. Mark, you require 116.
Well, he's got 2 darts at the treble 20 to leave the double 18. If he has it first dart, now he's going to have to pitch this just over the top. That's unlucky. It's called the bottom of the flight. Well, we've got the 138 again down. I know someone, if he's listening, will remember this one.
I'm sure he tells everybody whenever anybody leaves himself 138. It won't be done by Restovic here, and Michael Mansell looking at 56. 16 tops you would expect. No problem with a 16. A little bit of pressure on this now. But deals with it very admirably. Michael Mansell takes the first leg.
Second leg is Tonci throwing first.
Yeah, that'll settle Mickey down. I just noticed over on board 2 there, Michael Barnard, an old Essex boy, beating Stuart Kellett 6 legs to 3, and that is a real good result for Michael. He's been playing very well just lately. He beat Colin Lloyd out in Ireland last week, so he'll be coming here on a good bit of form.
Yeah, Brendan Dolan, the first match, of course, on the second stage. He was a 6-1 winner earlier on. Now in the crowd supporting Mickey Mansell. The game currently taking place, or due to take place in the second stage. Wayne Jones and Paul Barham. We're sticking with this one, and Restovic has got a little bit of a cushion as he looks to get his first leg on the board. Mansell looking to put a dent in it.
Yeah, Barham over there on board 2, another one of the Essex boys. Knocks around with my son,
81.
who's starting to come on the tour. Got a lot of youngsters around the Essex area now. Really, you know, the benefits are there if you can make it. And why not have a go? You know, there's millionaires now, these dart players.
85.
Well, certainly see Ross Smith coming up, who's been fantastic on the youth tour this year. 3 games' time when he takes on Jelle Klassen. We're to see the quality that is doing the rounds on the PDC Youth Tour.
Yeah, that was great, Dan, when these youngsters come through and then start doing it on the Pro Tour, because it was so easy for me to go to the board and Barry Hearn to say, look, now I want a lot of money to run a proper youth tour and challenge tour separately. And there was no questions asked. There it is. At the end of the day, it's probably going to cost the PDC somewhere in the region of £400,000 to run the youth and the challenge. But it's something you have to do to bring the next breed of player along.
And we've already seen Michael van Gerwen credits his success now to his success on the youth tour. Michael Smith, another player who's making waves on the senior circuit, having come through the youth setup.
He's got some talent, this young Michael Smith, if he can just realise it himself. And Restovic's now double 19, 2 darts at the double 19 to level it up. Well, Shanghai, as we call it on the 20s, which is a treble, single and a double.
Lovely dart from Michael Mansell, leaves himself 1 at double top. And steals the leg after Restovic misses 2 at double 19. Mansell takes a 2-0 lead.
Third leg is Michael throwing first.
Yeah, that was a brilliant shot out. The first dart actually had covered the treble 20, but the way Mickey Mansell pitches his dart, he's got a big rainbow on the dart. So it weren't that difficult for him to come down over the top of that dart.
A bit like Bob Thornton in that respect, the guy who should have been playing today. Nice sort of loopy action.
140.
Looping a couple into the treble bed there.
$140.
Yeah, you've got 2 different throws here. Mickey Mansell brings that dart right in under his eye and then just releases a good straight left arm. And yet Restovic, he's got no what I call backlift. That's the backlift, bringing it back 85. To the face. But if we watch Restovic here, he's got no backlift at all, and that's why he's having to use his shoulder and then his body. There we see it, because he's got to get all that power from that short distance. And then he uses the shoulder to kind of push it. Of course, as soon as you move the shoulder forward, your body's going to turn, you know, to the left. And that's why if he misses, it will probably be in the 5 than in the 1.
Yes. Yeah, there's a real effort with each dart from Restovic.
60.
Not a lot wrong with that throw, though. But Mickey Mansell with the advantage through first in this leg, and he's got the 3 darts. Get the 3rd leg on the board. Now that is absolutely perfect. You know, you're so when you stand in there, you think, and you can see on his face he knew that should have been in the treble. 85. And because that first dart was so perfect, you kind of automatically think, right, this is a minimum 140. And then when you don't hit it, you think, hang on a minute, what's happened there? That shouldn't happen. And you could see exactly that on Mickey's face, but Restovic here.
94, you would think he may go treble 18. Just had to step back and do the maths himself. That visit is put him in a very strong position. Michael Mansell needing another ton plus 1 here potentially to hold on to his throw, and that just ain't good enough.
That's got him out of jail though, because he'll know that Restovic may only get 1 dart of the double. And if he hits the treble 20, obviously he'll get 2. But you're never thinking, so 16, double top. And if he misses, Mickey comes back for 2 darts. And he's missed, he's pulled it low. So now all of a sudden, by hitting that treble 19, has put this in the hands of Mickey Mansell.
Goes 9 and wants tops. Mickey Mansell, 2 darts in his hand for a 3-0 lead. That's pretty high, but plenty of room. It's not going to obscure his path to it. And absolutely no problem with that third dart.
Fourth leg is Tonci for Robinford.
Well, we have a perfect example there again, Dan, of how, you know, your opponent's on a shot, but what you look at, the 76, you automatically think, well, he's only going to get 1 dart at a double. Under pressure, he might miss. You've always got to think that. And that's what Mickey Mansell did. Just concentrated, left himself a 2-dart finish and took it out, the 2 darts at the double.
Well, it's a commanding position that Mickey Mansell's put himself in here. Restovic narrowly missing out on his first maximum of the match at the start of this leg. But he does have the advantage and will look to press it home here.
96.
That'll do for the big Croatian.
Well, this throw could get Mick back in this leg. And again, a great first dart. He'll be surprised if he doesn't follow it up.
140.
Now that's better. The first dart so perfectly. He knew he was going to get one more. And that has put him right back in this leg. But we talk about perfect darts. How good was that first one as well?
Couldn't have placed it any better, but sadly couldn't follow it up with the next 2, Restovic. 140 for Mansell would leave him a finish. You're fully aware of that. Sliding into the treble 1 there.
43.
Not happy with himself. Restovic just looking to get his first leg on the board. Wants to take a big chunk out of this. And this isn't helping a great deal.
44.
All around the board and 44 off.
And again, how the legs turn around. A 140 from here. Take out the 118. That's what you've got to be thinking about. And Mickey will be. Well, he ain't going to do that now. But if he hits a ton, and Restovic then doesn't have a treble with the next visit, all of a sudden, Mickey has got the advantage.
Well, we saw in the last game when Pike was knocked out by Kamula, an entire match changed in 1 visit from Kamula, hitting a 180 from absolutely nowhere in the deciding leg.
60.
The merit of just keeping to plug away can win you games.
Well, that's all Mickey's got to do here. Just concentrate not to hit 100. I mean, obviously, if he hits the 2 trebles, he can take it out. He's gone 54. Another 54. We'll leave the bullseye. Unbelievable way of going. Why go that way? You practice on the treble 20 all day, and the treble 20s will leave you a dart at a double, and he's gone for the 254s to leave himself the 3rd dart at the bullseye. But what he's done, he's hit the big treble, so he's going to leave himself 2 darts at the double when he returns.
90.
Where Restovic, again, like the 76, may only get 1 dart at the double. If he misses, Mickey clears up.
Double 10 he wants. And double 10 he gets. Restovic first leg on the board and makes the most of it as well.
5th leg is Michael for Robinford.
Yeah, great shot out from Restovic there. Has got him back in this game. That'll give him a bit of confidence. Brilliant first dart in the treble 20 to give him the 2 darts at the double. But Mansell now with the throw. Well, that's a great start to this 5th leg.
Solid stuff from Restovic there with a ton. Mansell from the 2nd stage. Wayne Jones, 6-1 winner against Paul Barham. Threw in double quick time. And currently, it's Ronnie Hybrex against Aaron Monk, and it's Hybrex who leads 2-0 the Belgian. His brother Kim is in some form at the minute, having had a little bit of a dodgy patch by his own high standards prior to the most recent few weeks.
16.
You take a look at the averages, there's not a great deal between these two, Rod.
Yeah, very close in the first dart and the overall average. And you know, both just over 90. The rest of it's just come under the 90, so it's reasonable. You know, in these first round games, as I said, Dan, you know, who cares about the averages? I'll just get that W beside my name and we'll move on.
We saw Michael Mansell at the Grand Prix come ever so close to knocking Simon Whitlock out.
96.
Sudden death leg, he missed darts to do it, and that would have been some upset. Admittedly, it wasn't vintage stuff from Whitlock, but really, you'd have to say Mansell was the better player for the vast majority of the game. He'd been absolutely disgusted with himself not to have claimed that scalp on a big stage.
45.
Yeah, that first round at the Grand Prix, it is a real nightmare for the top players. You know, that the second favourites in the match have got nothing to lose, so they can just go up there and attack all the time and enjoy it.
96.
But the professionals, especially with that double in, it really does.
Can be a bit of a leveler, can't it, the double
yes, in. Very much so.
Mickey Mansell looking at 135. Went for the ball, got the 25, so treble 20 leaves him in the bullseye. He's just had a look at Restovic. Does he set it up? Does he challenge into it? 149? No, he goes for it and gets it. 135. Check out from Michael Mansell. I think he was genuinely considering setting it up.
Wow, that was dead centre as well, wasn't it? The treble 20 was dead centre. The bullseye, absolutely. You couldn't get it any more central in the dartboard.
41.
And that will, you can see when a guy's starting to get on a high. Mickey is not an emotional player, but to take out that and turn around and give it that, you know, that's what it's all about. Get yourself going, get the motor running really rich, and you know, because of that, he's now on a high and follows it up with two trebles, probably the third.
140.
Very, very close. Yeah, I think in that situation, when you're considering setting it up and saying to your opponent, go on then, you hit the big one, and then you decide, no, I'll be safe, I'll have a go.
41.
You've got to have a go at it, Dan. Yesterday, Phil Taylor did exactly the same. I forget it was against, at 161, Phil Taylor just hit the big 18. And it'll come to me in a minute, but he took out the 161, and you're thinking, you shouldn't have done that, Phil, you know. Sometimes it is a little bit of a gamesmanship. I'm going to get inside your head.
100.
But I would never do that. If you've got a chance of the bullseye and your opponent's on a shot, have a go at that bullseye.
I think you'll find, Rod, that Phil Taylor doesn't play mind games. I've heard him say repeatedly, doesn't do games, doesn't do games.
No. He does games in a different way than what other players might do. But yeah, it is a little bit of mind games, you know, when you do that. It's just saying to your opponent, I don't think you're good enough to take out the big shot, you know, and just get them a little bit angry, get them revved up.
Oh, Mickey Mansell looking very, very strong here. I hesitate to say he's edging towards victory, because that pipe Kamula game that we've just seen shows you anything can happen.
140.
But that is just about perfect from Mickey Mansell.
Yeah, he's played steady, but I think that 135 has really made Mickey Mansell think, well, I've got this game. I'm confident I can do this now. Let's just clean it up. And this will be for a 13 dart leg. It's against the throw as well. I keep talking about the nines, it's terrible, but for a left-handed, believe it or not, it's not bad. The right-handed player doesn't like that, but the left-handed players don't mind it. So that's 5-1 up, Mickey Mansell, and a good, solid performance here. Not electrifying scoring, but he's done the right things at the right time. The simple things he's executed perfectly.
Certainly, we've seen a 135 and a 120 finish from him. It's been a professional display from him.
100.
A solid start to what could well be the final leg of this match. Just a quick update from the second stage.
102.
Ronnie Hybrex, the rebel, looks to be running away with it against Aaron Monk. 4-0 up in that one.
Yeah, Aaron Monk, another one of the youngsters that are coming through. Really, 2 years ago, really showed huge potential to be a really good professional. But the last, 18 months to 2 years, he's just gone off the rails a little bit, you know. Probably, instead of just knuckling down and doing it, he's probably thinking, oh, it'll just happen. And I can assure you, it doesn't just happen. I tell all the youngsters, you know, you've got to keep going, you've got to concentrate, never walk up there thinking it's a walk in the park, because it never is.
Well, it does happen, doesn't it? You know, young players with incredible potential show what they're capable of or what they may be capable of in the future, and then go off the ball, and it takes them a while to come back and rediscover that touch. I mean, yeah, Michael van Gerwen's a case in point.
45.
Really struggled for a long while before that incredible just surge that's taken him to world #2 and Premier League title.
Well, he learned how to win on the youth tour. And it don't matter where you learn how to win. It's getting over that winning line of one. You turn up the next week, you win again. It may only be a youth event, but it breeds it in you. It enhances it in your brain that you are a winner. And it makes it easier, and that's what Michael's done. And then, of course, he comes onto the Pro Tour and starts playing very well. So then he's moves up another rung on the ladder, and there he is, world #2, and, well, certainly the second toughest player in the world to beat. I ain't got a clue who the first one is. It'll come to me, but...
It's not you, is it, Rod?
He's not here this weekend. He's having a rest. Won the Championship League darts last night down at Crondon Park, beating Michael in the final. Played 9 games yesterday, Phil did, and he had an overall average of just under 105. Incredible throwing.
Unbelievable stuff. The one of the men who performed brilliantly yesterday was Richie Burnett. He could face the winner of this one here, which looks like it's going to be Mickey Mansell, but Burnett takes on Gino Voss in his first round match.
Yeah, one of the big characters in the game, Richie. The stories he comes out with, he has us in fits like he did yesterday. And if you ever see him, ask him to do the Velociraptor dance. That is the most frightening and funniest thing you'll ever see. It's quite comical. But Mickey Mansell now just needing to set it up. You know, what Mansell done by not hitting the treble has given Restovic an outside chance of coming into this leg.
As well as Richie Burnett has played in the Championship League, including a 6-0 win against Michael van Gerwen. There's not many people who do that. He was leading the group at one stage with 4 wins from 4. But he could have his hands full with Mickey Mansell, who's putting a solid display here. He won't get a shot to win the match in this visit.
Don't miss the big number. That's all he had to do, is make sure he didn't miss the big number, because he'll feel that he'll come back with 2 darts at the double. And he certainly will now to finish this game off.
58.
When I say about doing the simple, executing the simple things, you know, easily, that's by not missing that big number. It sounds so simple, but it's given him the 2 darts instead of 1.
And there's the 10 he wants, a double top. Mickey Mansell forward place in this second round. Well, he did this before, went very high and then came in and found the target and just misses inside.
78.
How long that prolongs the game for, he's down to Tonci Restovic. Whether he can take out this 78. He's going to give himself 1 dart, a double top. And takes it! Well, a breaker throw. Restovic. Hold his throw here, it's 5-3, anything could happen.
Well,
we might have another pipe Kamula on our hands here, Rod.
Well, certainly the 152 that Pipe took out got him on a run. 78, will that get Restovic on a run? And he kicks off the next leg with a great score, so you never know.
be frustrating for Mansell, that. 2 match darts.
100.
You can see it's almost knocked the wind out of him a little bit, but could quite easily come back and
57.
win this leg against the throw and seal a 6-2 win.
Oh, that's a good dart. Absolutely perfect. The fins on the flights are sitting so we could just funnel it beside him.
140.
Yeah, you just knew from the first dart again, Dan, you know, the fins on the flights were sitting right so he could just bring the dart in between them and come down on the treble 20. You know, people say to me, you know, what are you talking about with the fins of the, you know, the flights? But it all counts. You know, when you've got a dart that sits up, you know, and the V is facing you, you've only got to hit the V of the flight and it will bounce into the treble 20. It would be interesting if you actually took close-ups all the time of how many darts would actually miss the treble if they didn't deflect in. And it's actually quite a high percentage.
Restovic toe-to-toe with Mansell in this leg. He's not giving up without a fight. Mansell knows a big score here. He could close this game out, prevent it getting any nervier for him.
60.
That's not really helped him a great deal.
129.
Well, he wants treble 20. Oh no, that's a bad miss from Tonci. But he smartened it up.
Michael, you require 141.
Well, all Michael can do, again, is just try and hit a big score and hope the Restovic is going to miss the double.
Well, he's taken out a 120 and a 135. A 141's proved beyond him here.
$45. Tonci, you require 52.
Mansell has missed them 2 darts of the double. He's not really hit anything, has he? And he, you know, he's let Restovic's back in the game. Double top, double 10.
32.
Well, he's missed that. So a chance here for Mansell. He's already taken out the 135, now the 96, and he'd love to see this first dart settle into the treble 20.
It there, but treble 19 for double 12, I would imagine, is the way he'll go. It's not worked out for him, and Restovic gets another chance
44
to grab a third leg.
You require 20
and make Mickey Mansell go out and win it on his own throw. Double 5, don't miss inside, whatever you do, Tonci, and that's gone straight in.
Tonci and Restovic.
Oh, back comes the big Croatian.
Is Michael throwing first.
Well, this is where Mansell wants to finish it off now. Because if he gets broken here, he's thinking, I'm going to decider, and anything can happen in that decider. As we see in the Pipe Kamula match, you know, Kamula didn't kick off well. Pipe, you know, a couple of good scores, but then Kamula just come in with the 180, and that won him the leg.
Oh, no treble. All over the 20 bed there from Mansell. It's not the solid start to the leg he was looking for, and Restovic is in the treble 19s, and Mickey Mansell, it was a stroll, bit of a frantic scurry towards the finishing line here.
Well, 6 darts without a treble for Mansell. Restovic's already hit 2 trebles with his first 3 darts. He needs to follow it up at least 1 more to keep the pressure on. 81. He's done exactly that. That's okay. It just keeps that pressure on Mansell.
More like it from Mickey Mansell, 2 in the treble bed. And follows it up with a third.
Well, we're just talking, Dan, about the Kamula 180, that he was well behind. All of a sudden, the 180 put him right back in the leg, and that's exactly what's happened to Mickey Mansell.
Yeah, it really was a maximum from Kamula in the sudden death leg when he was just wilting in the face of Pipe's challenge that turned the match around again for him. And Mickey Mansell, that maximum may, although he's not capitalising on it here.
60.
No, you've got to follow up the maximum with a minimum of a ton, otherwise it's what I call cut in half. So now, advantage to Restovic, and certainly now, will he stay on there? Yeah, that's the right way of going. You know, the treble 18 is normally the route for the double 16, but when you've got a plumb treble 20 and you need to check it out, 84. Stay on the treble 20. The double 13's a double. Well, they use this to go out 9 times out of 10 when you want a 9 dart leg. This would be for the match, and Mickey Mansell now treble 19. Well, he knows that Restovic's coming back, may only have 1 dart at the double. He's going to have to treble 10 to have 2 darts at the double.
62.
The 1 dart at the double, or Mickey Mansell will come back for 2.
Restovic now, he's going to have 2 darts at double 16. Well, he's missed that by quite some distance. Just taking his time here. Be back for double 12. Just checking that. The last thing you want to do is miscount at a crucial point of the match like this. But 1 dart, double 12, and my word, he knows how poor that dart was.
Yeah, used the shoulder in that shot too much, didn't he? Then both them doubles. So now Mickey Mansell 12 for double top. He's already had 2 darts at the tops to have already won this match. He's going to get another 2 to finally only needs the 1. A good dart from Mickey Mansell.
Yep, he missed 2 at double top earlier. It looked like a stroll to victory. A bit of a scramble at the end for Mickey Mansell.